During this time, Flight 522 had entered Greek airspace without permission and continued its flight plan. Nicosia Air Traffic Control Tower also tried to contact Flight 5222 on emergency frequencies, but again there was no response. They then contacted Athens Control and asked if they had any contact with Flight 522, but unfortunately their radio calls also went unanswered. At this point, there were two possibilities. Either there was a radio transmission issue on Flight 522, because of which they could hear the calls, but their responses were not being transmitted, or both pilots had been incapacitated. Considering the first possibility, Athens Control Tower gave permission for the aircraft to descend. But there was no indication from Flight 522 of descending. After more than 20 attempts to contact without any response, Athens ATC had to contact the Greek Air Force and inform them that Flight 522 had entered airspace without permission and was not responding to messages. The Greek Air Force immediately sent two F-16 jets to intercept. By that time, Flight 522 was perfectly following its flight path on autopilot. The point where it was supposed to descend had already been missed twice, but the plane was still flying at 34,000 feet. At 7:37 am, Flight 522 established a holding pattern over Athens airport. A holding pattern is when an aircraft circles over the airport and prepares for landing once permission is granted. When they were on the 6th round of the holding pattern, both F-16s intercepted them. It was exactly 8:30 in the morning. One of the F-16 pilots gave a rather surprising report. He said that the captain's seat in Flight 522's cockpit was empty. He also looked inside the passenger cabin. Through the windows on the other side, the cabin was clearly visible. The passengers were sitting motionless in their seats with oxygen masks on their faces. When the aircraft was making its 10th round of the holding pattern, one of the F-16 pilots saw a strange scene. A person wearing a light shirt and a black vest entered the cockpit and sat in the captain's seat.